According to Bankrate, $200,000 would make the average American feel very comfortable. But if we were to add another 300 grand and make it $500,000 a year, they would feel rich. I think most Americans are delusional, but if you do want that actual and very real kind of money, we'd have to make a video today on the roadmap to financial freedom. And today I'm going to share with you 3 very specific steps of how, yes, you can get to $500,000 a year.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Reality check on mainstream America today looks like this. We live in paycheck to paycheck. As of June, 61% of adults are living check to check according to Lending Club report. The typical worker takes home $3,308 per month after taxes and benefits. Now that is a very frightfully low number, and here's why. The median monthly rent in the US was $2,029 as of June, according to Redfin. That amount already accounts for 61% of the median take-home pay. In other words, if people are bringing in an average of $3,300 a month, but $2,000 is going out the door to rent, that leaves only $1,300 a month left over to basically cover food and transportation, some insurance, and frankly, not a lot else. You want to hear something a little sad but true? So this is 2 stacks of 10 grand. This is $20,000. My first year as an adult, I made $18,600. So I didn't even make $20,000. Now, it was more money than I had ever made at any other point in my life, but I found myself as a newlywed going deeper into credit card debt just to keep myself afloat. And a lot of people could argue, Kris, you're a college kid, like this is the time to be broke, this is the time to go into debt. But my wife cried at the idea of going into debt, and so it forced me to innovate and ask, okay, if my job's not able to cut it, what can I do outside of that to get ahead? And that's what led to all of my early wealth becoming financially free at the age of 26 and the 3 lessons I want to teach you right now. All right, step 1 is about reserving cash, which basically means whether you make, here we go, $50,000 a year, or whether you make $100,000 a year, reserving cash basically refers to the amount of money that you save from what you earn. If you make $50,000 a year and you can save 20% of it, that's $10,000. If you make $100,000 a year and save 20% of it, that's $20,000. Now, if you listen to Dave Ramsey and other people, they're going to say, oh yeah, you're saving for the rainy day fund, right? No, this money is being saved for future investing. You need to utilize some type of single-digit investment for a reserve vehicle. Your savings account, by the way, should be growing at least 5 or 6% every single year. And I know what you're thinking, Kris, there ain't no savings account on the planet that is growing at 5%. Apropos, there are banks out there currently with these high interest rates that are offering for a year, like these 5% rates. So they do exist. Typically, I actually default to a rare type of life insurance policy where I earn 5, 6, 7% of my money. But make no mistake, I'm not investing in death or my life insurance, and I'm also not investing in a bank. I'm letting 20% of my reserves stash and stay safe while I'm letting it build up till I can use that money for the second step, which is investing. Now, at that time in my life, I met 3 different people who had each made over $10 million investing in real estate. And they all gave me the same advice. Kris, you gotta be really good at reserving or setting aside money from your job. And they challenged me, they said, if you wanna put a 3% down payment on your very first home, you're probably gonna have to save 5 or 10 grand up. My wife and I were so poor, it took 14 months of hardcore savings before we had $5,000 set aside. And that $5,000 was what we needed as a down payment to buy a first property that started everything moving in the right direction to get to that second step called investing. This step empowers your money, producing double, triple, or even quadruple digit ROIs. And I want to help you understand what that means. If you take money and you put it into a real estate investment earning 25%, then how many years will it take before you've doubled your money or made 100% on it? Well, if 1 year I'm making 25%, the second year I make 25%, the third year I make 25%, the fourth year I make 25%, I add them all up, that's 100%. That means in the game of real estate, I can double my money every 4 years. Technically with compounding interest, that means that it doubles every 3 years, but that's an example of something most people don't do. When I started investing in real estate, I had all of my peers and my friends basically say, you're crazy. Like, you're supposed to put your money in a 401k and an IRA. What are you doing putting your money in real estate? Well, according to Forbes, residential properties generate an average annual return of 10.6%. In my world, I don't touch a real estate deal unless it's earning 25%. And by the way, if you're like, Kris, how come you're producing a lot more than the average according to Forbes? Well, I explain and break it all down in my book, which by the way, I'm giving you for free in a link below. So if you want to learn the deep dive of everything I'm teaching you right now, click the link, get the book for free. All you need is that one book to change everything upstairs in your thinking so that you can figure out how to invest like a boss and create the financial life of your dreams. Now, once you've got some capital invested in a business, a franchise, real estate, something that is designed to make your money work for you, then we move on to the third step here, which is to convert it. We got to convert this asset into money that comes back into your pocket. Your money will naturally lead you into step 3 by converting into 2 things. Number 1, cash flow, money that your investment pays you back, also called profits and dividends, that can then be reinvested or utilized to fund your lifestyle. And number 2, increased asset value. Investments will become more valuable with time so they can eventually be sold into greater profits. Like literally when I bought my very first property, I rented out the basement and it covered my mortgage. A year later, I was able to pull some of the equity out of that property and put it in a second property. In other words, the success of the first property, it going up in value, is something I was able to extract through the bank and actually use as a down payment into a second property. That second property, which I did not live in, had an extra $600 left over every single month after paying the mortgage. So those people paid $1,500 a month of rent, but my mortgage was only $900. So that $600 came back to me. That is the cash flow that I'm talking about. And then years later, I sold that property and I made $130,000. That was the increased asset value. So real estate is just one kind of business, but basically every month it gives you a cash flow. You own more properties, you get more cash flow, and then all of their asset bases are also increasing with time as well, called appreciation. Let me give you an example of converting your money, right? So number 1, imagine that we bought a property right here and that it was earning 25%. That means that based on whatever I put in, I'm getting a 25% return on it. Well, a few years later goes by, I sell the property, and what do? I trade it out for 2 properties that are each earning me 25%. But 25 on this and 25% there is now a total of what? 50%. Few years goes by, I double it, and I sell everything, and I double my portfolio and use the profits to buy 4 properties that are each paying me 25%. Well, 25 times all 4, that's now earning 100% of my money. That would mean that if I had $100,000 invested, by this period of time, every single year, I would be getting back $100,000. In fact, that's what happened to me by my 5th year of investing in real estate. I had $12,000 a month coming in residually every single month. It was passive. I didn't need to work for the money. That money just came in every single month. But the portfolio of 25 homes was now worth $1.6 million in value to me. So the asset base went up, it produced more cash flow. And guess what I did? I decided that 25 homes tasted great, so 50 would taste better. And if 50 tastes good, then 100 would taste better. And if 100 tastes good, then why not 1,000? My friend, $3,300 a month is not enough to get by. But this book will show you not just the blueprint of what I use to become financially free, it'll teach you 5 different ways. Real estate is only one of them. There are 4 other ways to build real wealth for yourself. And if you can just make one of those 5 work, I've got news for you. Financial freedom, it's yours to have. Now there's a link below, and this book, it's in full color, it's beautifully designed. I'm giving it to you as a gift from me to you for free, which means all you got to do is click the link. I'm going to have you cover the shipping and handling. The book itself, I'm paying for it as a gift. When you get the book, I want you to slam dunk it. I want you to read it, because what it's going to do is it's going to give you a blueprint so that financially your life will never be the same again. Click the link, get the book. Kris Krohn, you're saying one thing there that really terrifies me. It sounds like you want me to go into debt. Like, it sounds like buying real estate is really just a debt business. Like, I've always been told that you should stay out of debt. Well, if you want to know why the wealthy love debt, then join me on a journey right here, because this video is about to blow your mind away.